Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Acting Relic, and welcome to the third E3 coverage discussion. So before we get into PlayStation, let's talk a bit about some other things that happened. So right after the Xbox conference, there was the newest Metal Gear 5 trailer. Now, I don't know too much about the Metal Gear universe, but I know there was a bunch of important stuff dropped there. So if you are a fan of the Metal Gear universe, go give that a watch. Not only because it's probably one of the best MGS5 trailers, and that's saying something because there have been some amazing ones, starting with the very first one, the Red Band trailer that's like 9 minutes long, to the nuclear trailer they showed off at, what was that, Gamescom or something like that? To this one, which is I think about 5 minutes long, and really gets into some in-depth story and really starts to show the madness of Big Boss and what he's going through. So definitely go give that a shot. It's also Kojima's final Metal Gear trailer, and I literally was reading Twitter right after that, and just all the tweets were to Kojima saying, wow, what an amazing trailer. So go give it some love and whatnot. The other thing they showed off a little bit of is Lego Dimensions. Lego has figured out, they said, hey, Disney Infinity can do it. Nintendo can do it with Amiibos. Why can't we do it with Lego figures? So they have found the license to print money, which is Lego Dimensions, where it's literally you build the little minifigure, tap it on the little playset, and it pops into your game. And they are literally mixing everything into this game. So we're talking Wizard of Oz, Lego Movie, all of DC, probably all of Star Wars, all of Lord of the Rings, pretty much every Lego game that has been so far, mixed in with, of course, Back to the Future, The Simpsons, Scooby-Doo, and now confirmed from this trailer, Portal, including Chell, GLaDOS, Wheatley, and the rest. This is literally the Lego version of, hey, we have a bunch of minifigures, let's see what happens if we put them in. Like, there were shots from that trailer, well, it was not a trailer, it was a gameplay demo of Chell driving around in the DeLorean. So, just picture that in your mind. Or Gandalf in the Mystery Machine, driving around Aperture Science Labs. Just picture in your mind that kind of madness. Anyways, the other conference that I watched prior to, because there were conferences in between, mainly EA and Ubisoft, Ubisoft had some cool stuff. The main one I got to see was, I think it was called it was For Honor. And it looks like what happens when you take Nidhogg and Chivalry, mush them together, and give them the funding of a Ubisoft Assassin's Creed game. It looks like it could be cool. The thing they're really hammering home is this is all about the combat, all about the sword play, all about the weapon play. So I really have to get my hands on it and play around with it and see how much that matters. Wait a second here. There we go. But to really know, so I'd have to see that. And of course they showed off a bit more of the Division. Division looks pretty cool. I'd give it a shot. I wouldn't buy a console for it. Like, it's not that quality of a game, but it looks fun. But E3's thing that we waited through probably an hour of fucking sports, although sports looks pretty cool. If you care about the FIFA game or the NFL games, looks cool. Or NBA, looks cool, but I'm not a sports guy, so can't really comment. We waited through all that to get the Star Wars Battlefront gameplay trailer, and holy shit, this is Star Wars Battlefield. And so let me run through. Graphics, they look good. UI looks good. Lighting looks good. Sound design is fucking godlike. Like, full-on unbelievable movie quality sound effects here. Like, all the blaster sound effects, all the explosion sound effects, they probably have multiple different variants of the Wilhelm scream to implement into that goddamn game. I hope and pray that EA does not fuck up the servers on that game, because that will be one of the games that I would like to get in November. Because holy shit, that game might be fucking incredible if it works. It's still gonna suffer from the DLC EA universe, but what are you gonna do? They're a company built off making money off shit, but sometimes they make us good things. So it looks awesome. Alright, now into Sony. So, well, I said that I would just play it cool with this. I can't deny, I think Sony won. I have to watch tomorrow for the Nintendo Digital event, but going in prediction here, I think Sony won because they dropped some fucking tactical nukes on this conference. Because they started with The Last Guardian, which has been teased 8 years ago. This is Team Eco and Team Shadow of the Colossus game. This is their follow-up to that, and holy shit, it's both of those together. I never played either, but it looks like the adventuring, exploratory of what I imagine Eco is like, and it definitely has the scale of Shadow of the Colossus in climbing on top of your big griffin dog thing, and there's definitely exploratory as to how you figure out how to do things. Game looks flawless. Sound design is fucking amazing. So if you were waiting for that game for 8 years, it's here. It's coming. It's coming out in 2016 sometime. So they finally gave us some actual numbers on that one. The other thing that Sony did really well, and you're going to notice it when I'm talking here, holy shit, they gave hardly any time to say, here, let's talk about the experience, the genre-defining experience of this game. They literally spent maybe 5 minutes of a full 2-hour conference talking about that. Every other minute was fucking gameplay or CG trailers. They packed in so much shit to this announcement. I didn't even have that much time to write everything down. Like certain games only got 3 minutes or 4 minutes of time. That's not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. But anyways, continuing on. The next game they showed off was a new IP from Guerrilla Games. Guerrilla Games, I didn't realize till after, are the makers of the Killzone series. So, okay, they know how to make the shoot games. The first-person shoot games for Sony. What's this? Oh, this is a third-person hunting game set in the futuristic world where our technology has gone to the point where it has become its own species like wildlife. There are shots in this trailer of you playing as a female huntress. Yet another female protagonist, put it on the list. That's a pretty good list for this year. Hunting down what seems to be a robotic T-Rex. That sounds fucking awesome. And visually it looks great. Graphics are backing it up. Good frame rate. Good sound design. Looks like a whole bunch of good weapon choices. I'd have to physically hold it to know, but the gameplay looks pretty solid. So I'm happy that they got away from just making the same Killzone game over and over again, so they now get to play... We now get to play something new, and it looks entertaining, where you're wilderness people just trying to combat these wildlife, but the wildlife are machines. It's pretty cool. Forgot to mention the name. The name is called Horizon Zero Dawn. That's, I think, the one problem with it is the name is just a little iffy, but nobody makes good names anymore. There's only a couple of good names out there. Anyways, they showed off a CG trailer, and it took me till the very end to realize, oh, he said 47 at the beginning. This is the CG trailer for the new Hitman game. Looking a lot like the last game, but a little better. It's Hitman. If you love Hitman, this is probably going to be really good. But it was a CG trailer, so we can't really tell too much. Excuse me. They showed off the SF4 trailer. So, couple new stages, game getting rebalanced, and with all the stuff, I imagine Maximilian's going to have an entire video on what the hell's going on. They showed off Cammy and some character named Birdie. I don't know who this guy is. Apparently he's old lore of... maybe it's from a Street Fighter game or a crossover game that I never heard of. Because I looked at him and was like, I don't know that character. I also don't play a lot of Street Fighter, so I don't know too many of the characters. But I know enough about fighting games to know a character that I've never seen before. So, completely interesting character there. July 23rd is going to be SF5 Street Fighter 5 multiplayer beta for PlayStation 4. So if you have a PlayStation 4 and are either interested or really want to, grab that and go test the game out, because I want to know how that game plays, how it differs from Street Fighter 4. On towards, talk about a game that gets only 3 minutes, No Man's Sky. The game that literally causes me to drool every time it's on stage. And literally, all the notes I had to put in here is how. Because somehow, the team of Hello Games developed a game that has a technically larger than NASA has calculated universe for you to explore. And literally, that's what you do with this game. You go into a solar system, you explore those planets, you find things on those planets, you can say, oh, I found this is now mine, and name it. It is literally the greatest exploring tool ever, and he showed off a little, Sean, I think he's the main director, showed off a little bit more of, you can get out of your ship and use a laser gun to blow up rock formations on the fucking planet, but if you do, so the planet police essentially come after you and try and kill you. So there is combat in this game. There's trading in this game. There is probably racing in this game. He showed off a bit of ship-to-ship combat where there was literally fleets attacking each other. I was like, holy shit, this game looks awesome. They are still not talking about release dates, mainly because I think it's a team of like 50 people working on a game that looks like it's made by multiple millions. It boggles my mind how that fucking game looks like this and is proposed to be like this technically infinite universe thing. I hope and pray to God that they get whatever funding, whatever power they need to make all our dreams and their sayings come true. So, damn. Looks pretty cool. I still don't know why I got 3 minutes. I probably gave it longer time, maybe less. I don't know. No Man's Sky, man. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. Excuse me. Next up was something called Dreams. This is from the Little Big Planet team. And this is next in their lineup of creative tools. And the main director of it came out on stage and is, I want to build something that literally causes you to look at this and go, wait, what? So what I gather from it is that it's a creation tool where you literally build whatever you want. Like, you can use it to build movies, plays, video games, probably music, probably even more than that, just paintings and stuff. Literally your creation tool is you use the controller like a paintbrush and paint the thing, but it becomes three-dimensional if you want it to. They showed off multiple different art styles that you can select from with all these different things. The best thing that's probably going to come out of this are independent films just using the game to make their things. If you've ever seen the stuff of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, imagine a creation tool that allows you to build that, but dial it up to 11 and give you the variety of changing that color palette and look to multiple different others. It's going to make some cool stuff. They didn't show off too much, but it looks interesting to say the least. So, anyways, there's that. Next up was Firewatch. Firewatch has a really nice art style. If you don't, Firewatch is, you play as a fire ranger in a forest, and you essentially do your ranger park duties and walk around the forest, checking on, making sure visitors to the park are obeying the rules. But all your dialogue is between you and your female commander, and you talk back and forth, and you have banter with her, and the dialogue seems very fluid and very nice. There is a mystery element to it of what's really going on here. There might be an element of, can you trust the person you're talking to? It looks really cool. Obviously, I'll link to that and some of the other parts. So, yeah, Firewatch. I'd love to see more of it. Destiny Expansion 3, it's coming. Called The Taken King. Out September 15th. This seems to be a sequel to Dark Below, with you are now fighting the father of the boss from Dark Below, I think is how it works. I followed Destiny at its launch, but then I petered off because I haven't purchased the expansions yet. So, it looks cool, and they are now adding what I think seems to be classification number, not classification, but sort of power set 3. So, for example, Titans have, Striker and the Protection one. You're now going to have a third one that seems to be like Thor. Like, you literally have Mjolnir, and you jump into action and throw Mjolnir into the ground. And then one of the other ones is Lightning, and then it's crazy. Like, obviously, all these trailers are going to be out there. I'm going to link to them or link to images of them as best I can. Crazy shit. Then they followed up with Syndicate. How do I describe Syndicate? Another female assassin. Check the box. We got another one. And cane swords. Using canes as weapon are cool. Using them as having swords concealed within them is even cooler. The only thing that tops that is, of course, Bloodborne's cane sword whip, which is obviously just cooler than anything else. But looks like really good. Looks like it's going to be just Unity's feel in London. But you're now with the street gangs instead of trying to fight the revolution. You're just fucking around. PlayStation 4 is getting exclusive murder mysteries, probably all related to Sherlock Holmes. Then we move into the Square Enix sets, because one looks kind of cool, and then one is the other tactical nuke they dropped. So they showed off something called World of Final Fantasy, which seems to be just Final Fantasy with chibi characters. Which, if you like that, it's cool. Like, it's not for me. Looks interesting. But then they dropped the one that we had speculated for years with, for 10 years with, the remake of FF7 for next gen, well, now gen consoles. They didn't say literally any dates, anything, just it's happening, and they showed some CG cutscene work, and holy shit, if you know Square CGI, that game looks pretty. And all they showed was the arm of I think his name is Barrett, the guy with the Gatling gun arm, and the back of Cloud with his Buster Sword. There was nothing of Sephiroth, nothing of Aerith, just those two and the city. That's it, but holy shit, the crowd went fucking nuts, and I literally went, okay, they won. There is nothing to it. You announced Last Guardian, the thing we've been waiting for 8 years, and FF7, the thing that will probably purchase several million copies within the first, 2 days or something. Onwards. And they didn't slow down after this. They kept going. They said, we've got 4 games from Devolver. Devolver's the company that helped make Broforce and Hotline Miami. They're fucking awesome. So they've got Ronin, which seems to be their Mark of the Ninja with their art style and with their own touches to it and their own special gameplay stuff. FITR? Fighter? I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a fantasy kind of Dark Soulsian setting-ish. Then the possibly one of my favorite names so far, Mother Russia Bleeds, which seems to be a Russian gang splatterhouse beat 'em up. Looks pretty cool. And then Chasing Souls, which seems to be about high school kids causing crimes and then being chased by the cops. They played it really quickly, and I couldn't, I had to scramble to write down the name and also watch it. So, crazy shit with that. Then they showed off Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3 can be possible if you go donate to its Kickstarter. I don't even know. I've never even played Shenmue, and I know how big that is. So, that's probably going to be funded by tomorrow morning by the reaction they got. And they had the creator of Shenmue come out and say, hey, it can be possible if you just fund the thing, so here's the link, go put your money in. So, holy shit, Shenmue 3 might be possible if we pay them enough. Then they move right along to Batman Arkham Knight. Still looks more interesting, mainly because it's mainline Batman crew, so the guys who made Asylum and City. It's not Origins. It's looking way more like the original two. The big thing is they're really harping in the Joker's gone. We are not doing the Joker anymore. You literally see him burned. His body burned, his body cremated, and this is Scarecrow's game. This is time for Scarecrow, and excuse me, a whole bunch of other villains. Then they move right along to, alright, here's our pitch, here's our VR, here's Morpheus. So, obviously building it for all these bunch of games, and they showed off a little bit of just random fun gimmicks that you use VR for, and then of course they showed off they've got a new game. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it is a fast-paced, it looked a little bit like, I think it's called Frames, and it's first-person shooter 3v3 match, really styled on compatibility. Like, this might become its own Like, they're hoping it becomes its own MLG league, which would be kind of cool to see. Because seeing professional FPS players is always fun. So, that was pretty awesome. And then, the last thing that I ever expected to see happened. Treyarch and Activision broke away from the talons of Microsoft and have now made a deal with Sony to say, we give you directive rights to Call of Duty. So they are getting Call of Duty Black Ops 3 map packs and whatnot first. So they showed off a bit of Black Ops 3. And Black Ops 3, well, I've always liked, the Treyarch games. I love Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 is decent. Black Ops 3 looks like Titanfall. Like this, they're setting it at 2065. So, reasonable, what is that? 50-year future out from now. So you have full-on mech suits, you have all the abilities. You seem to carry like 3 weapons on you at least, if not more. And for the first time ever, a fucking Call of Duty game finally takes the best page out of a Halo campaign book and gives us multiplayer. You can play up to 4-player co-op campaign with this goddamn game, and God, that makes me happy, because I enjoy Call of Duty campaigns. Like, they're entertaining. They're like a blockbuster movie. But I think it'd be even better if I can play 4-player co-op with that. Now, they didn't say split screen, so I don't know about that, but there's definitely 4-player co-op. So this is looking like a direct follow-up to Advanced Warfare, where you've got the double jumping around. They've added in wall running. You've got full-on mech suits. It looks pretty great. And they showed a bit of multiplayer, and multiplayer looks like Titanfall. It looks like Titanfall, but you set it up in Call of Duty style maps. You got the jumping, as I said, the rocket jumping everywhere. You got the wall running. They have now made it so that there's 2 types of kill streaks. There's your normal kill streaks, which are like your Hailfire missile, whatever it be. I don't know what the big one's going to be here, because whether they'll just do another Moab or they'll do something like the Swarm or Dogs, I don't know. Excuse me. The other one is that you have a specialized weapon that is special to your character. So I saw one that was essentially a revolver, but it has the power of a shotgun that as soon as you earn enough kills, you can use it. So that looked pretty cool. There was also a Rambo-style bow that has grenades on the end of it, and they're firing off. So, Black Ops 3, you got me possibly back on the Call of Duty train to give it a shot. And, of course, they ended off with Uncharted 4. They had possibly the hilarious technical glitch where they started it, they got it to go, and then they got to the point where Nathan Drake is just standing there, and he stood there for about 2 minutes, then they restarted the demo. It's like, oh, somebody fucked up. Somebody messed up. So, excuse me. It looks good. Good sound design, good graphics, everything that a new, a soon-to-arrive next-gen game should be. Will it be another Uncharted 2 where it gets, like, perfect 10 out of 10 scores to it? Maybe. I don't know. So, after the Xbox conference, I was all set to go. Yeah, I'm going to buy an Xbox One. I'm going to use it for all the compatibility stuff. But then Sony comes out and goes, oh, we don't have compatibility yet. They may never have it. But here's all the things that you've been waiting for. So, I've never played an Eco. I've never played Eco or Shadow of the Colossus, but holy shit, The Last Guardian looks awesome. I'm interested in Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the third-person hunting game made by the Killzone team. Looks pretty cool. Hitman looks cool if you like Hitman. SF5, Street Fighter 5 looks pretty goddamn awesome. Still weirded out by that birdie character. I imagine somebody's going to explain it to me. So I might be really hammering down and just doing the Sony route because shit, I want to play No Man's Sky and a whole bunch of other things in here. And if they're getting the Call of Duties first on theirs and they're doing that hard of a Titanfall, here's Titanfall kind of thing, I might be interested. But suffice to say, unless Nintendo brings out like, here's Metroid, here's Star Fox, and it's going to be out in like a month, I honestly think Sony has won this one. And even if Nintendo comes out and says, here's everything you ever wanted, I think Sony has won this just based upon giving us The Last Guardian, which has been rumored to be in development for 8 years, and FF7 Remake, which has been thought about and prophesied for nearly 10. So, good job, Sony. You did some good fucking work. You got some good fucking games coming out for you. But Microsoft, don't feel bad. You still have backwards compatibility to hold over them. It's a good day to be both. I think it's better to be a Sony. Well, it's once again, I think I figured this out, is that Sony focuses in on doing adventure games, like mainly those made by Naughty Dog, such as Uncharted and The Last of Us, and also they know how to do RPGs, scoring stuff like Bloodborne and stuff like that, and others like that. Let me just pull this out here. They know how to do RPGs, both Western and J, because they know it's the console to play if you're JRPG or Final Fantasy fan, because Final Fantasy is part of JRPGs, I know that. But stuff like Horizon Zero Dawn and so RPGs, both Western and Japanese RPGs, are pretty much always better on Sony, as well as adventure games on Sony, whereas still continue to deliver some of the best shooters and the best racing games. But Sony might try and take that from them by getting the exclusive deal with Treyarch and Activision to get Black Ops 3 stuff first to theirs. They already have the first to theirs with Destiny, so they're gaining a bit more ground. But Xbox is still standing there, so congrats to both. I think I'm just going to have to buy a fucking PlayStation 4 because all the exclusive titles are ones that I really would like to play more, but it was still paying me because every time I look at it, I softly hear the whispers of Killer Instinct on the wind from Xbox One, as well as the whispers of what Scalebound might be. So it's a fantastic time to be a gamer, to say the least. Both sides of this have been drawn up, and they're fucking fantastic. It's now to you, Nintendo, to somehow break the world and say, hey, you think that was cool? Here's more stuff. So hopefully Nintendo's press conference tomorrow will be as good and as bombastic as it was last year, because last year they destroyed everyone, but mainly that was because Xbox had a middling show and Sony had a not so great show, but now Xbox has had a good show, and Sony has had probably a fucking amazing show. So Nintendo's going to have to pull some weight and really drive home whatever they're going to sell us. But anyways, I will close it off there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.